Hello, and welcome to day 4 of Denver Yoga Co-op's Yoga with Heart Challenge. I'm Mark. I wanted to do a few of my favorite pranayama practices that I find that help balance and open up my heart. So often we find that when there's tightness in the heart and we're not opening the heart, um, we can find ourselves with some grief, some bitterness, some resentment, the inability to forgive, and it can lead to some forms of depression. So these are three of my favorite practices that help combat that. One of the things that I find is helpful for this is to find a good seat. And that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. You might find that the floor is the best thing for you. Some people like a pillow. I've got this large floor pillow here that I sometimes use. But one of my favorite things to do is just to find a couple blocks and to raise myself up and sit on those blocks just so that my hips are a little bit higher than my knees, and then relax my knees so that they are in a comfortable position. And the first practice that we'll do is a few rounds of robin's breath. And one of the best things to do to start out the robin's breath is just to roll the shoulders around a couple times in each direction to help loosen up the shoulders a little bit, and then roll the head around a few times in each direction. And then let that head balance right on top of the spine. And then as you inhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let the thumbs rest on the sternum, right on the heart. And maybe you can feel that heart beat a few times, and maybe your eyes fall closed. Take a few breaths and let yourself just sink down into whatever it is that you've decided to sit on, and then check in. Does it feel like those sit bones are making good contact with the floor, the cushion, the blocks? And if not, just very quickly rock from side to side, pull any of that extra flesh away from those sit bones, and then bring the hands back to the heart and let those thumbs rest on that sternum. Let the elbows get heavy so the shoulders come down away from the ears. And then as you inhale, we'll lift up nice and tall through the crown of the head. The spine is very erect. And then as you exhale, point the fingertips forward, straighten the elbows, tuck the chin to the chest, and you roll back onto the sit bones. And then when you inhale, this one's very easy. You just pull the palms apart, lift up through the crown of the head, stop the arms when they are in line with the shoulders, and then exhale, close everything up again. Tuck the chin to the chest, and then inhale, draw the hands back to the heart, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, you dive forward again, tucking the chin to the chest, the spine rounds, you roll back onto the sit bones. This time, when you inhale, you pull the palms apart, lift up through the crown of the head. Maybe the palms turn up towards the ceiling and you lift the chin just a little bit. Exhale, close everything up again. It's like you're putting on a big cape. And then inhale, draw the hands back to the heart, sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, dive forward again with the hands, roll back onto the sit bones. And you notice each one, the spine gets a little bit more round. And then inhale, the palms turn up this time. Maybe the arms come back behind the shoulders, lift and maybe look up at the ceiling. And then exhale, throw that cape onto your shoulders, tuck the chin to the chest, the palms come together. And then inhale, the hands come back to the heart. You grow up tall through the spine. You want to do a minimum of 3 of these. We're going to stop here. You could continue for 6 more, 9 more, whatever felt good for you at that time. So let's just take a couple breaths here and just notice the feeling in our heart, in our shoulders, maybe some more openness created. Keep the spine nice and tall. And then place your non-dominant hand on your heart and your dominant hand right on top of that. Again, let the elbows be heavy. And this is just a simple heart opening meditation and breath movement. So let those elbows get nice and heavy, the shoulders down away from the ears. And as you inhale, you take that dominant hand and you reach out to the side, palm open, lift up through the crown of the head, as if you're throwing away something that no longer suits you. And then as you exhale, pull that dominant hand back to the heart, pulling in something very dear to you as the non-dominant hand reaches out. Again, tossing out whatever it is that doesn't serve you anymore. And then inhale, bring that non-dominant hand in, pulling in something that is good. And then exhale, throwing out what it is that is of no use to you. And those are things that you identify. And it's a breath. Inhale, you throw it out. And you continue from side to side. You decide what the right number of these are. When you are satisfied that you've tossed enough items that are not suiting you, and maybe it's one or two, and you just continually work on it, and you've identified what it is that you need to bring nearer to you, go ahead and pause now with the dominant hand on your heart, non-dominant hand on top, and take at least 3 breaths here. And inevitably, while you're doing that, you will get the inhales and the exhales turned around, and that's okay. Just think about releasing tension and bringing in strength and joy. And then we'll conclude this short little practice with just the lotus mudra. So as you inhale, let the hands come away from the heart. Let the palms come together. Rest the thumbs on the sternum. And then look down at the tops of your fingertips. Keep the pinky and the thumbs together, but let the index, middle, and ring finger pull apart. So you're opening up that lotus flower. Bring your gaze into the center of the palms. Let the gaze just kind of blur out as you're staring into the center of that flower. And then picture the person or the thing that brings you most joy right now. Keep sitting up nice and tall. And breathe deeply. And let the thumbs keep rest on the sternum. Let the thumbs feel the heartbeat. Keep thinking about that thing or that person that is bringing you the most joy right this moment. Other thoughts are going to pop into the head, and that's absolutely normal. Acknowledge them, set them aside, and bring your attention back into that center of that lotus flower, to that person or that thing that is bringing you joy right now. The eyes can be opened or closed at this point because you know what that thing or that person is. and continue for at least 3 to 6 more breaths. But this is a practice that you could hold for 3 to 5 minutes if you wanted to. We'll conclude with a big full inhale breath. Really reach up through the crown of the head as you inhale. And then as you exhale, let the palms come together. Let the eyes come back open if they've been closed. Thank you so much for watching this short video on, again, some of my favorite heart opening pranayama practices. On an inhale, if you bring those thumbs up to the third eye, the light in me bows to the ever-present light and strength in you. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste.